Super GT has decided to drag Nick and I to a track walk, kicking and screaming. They call us professionals, but track walks are not our thing. Strategy. Well,
Drive fast, don't crash.
what are we doing now?
Right now,
Yes.
making a video.
All right. Okay, so what we're actually doing is, this is practice now. There's like 35 minutes. Alvarez, the pro, Super GT, he's going to do the big laps now.
Say hello to everybody.
Ciao. Greetings, everybody. How are we doing? It's Tuesday, our more regular day. Last week we were streaming on a Thursday. And this week we're going to be looking at some onboard footage from Mugello in the Italian GT. I've got some lighting and stuff that I haven't finished setting up. It's like, at the moment, I can move it just with my hand instead of having it on like a swivel. But I did get a new camera mount, so I can get really intimate with you guys. And I can move it back. You can actually see what's going on over there, including the vacuum cleaner. Alrighty, but we're going to come in a bit closer. Alright, so tonight we're going to cover a little bit of Mugello on board, starting with qualifying, then the race. This is also from Italian GT. That's where I could get most of my footage this year. And then I'm going to see what I can scrape from GT World Challenge, whatever's left of it. And eventually we're going to get to Le Mans. I maybe need a little bit of... I need to be brave to bring that out, because I don't know what will happen. We may just get demonetized or something like that. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. If you guys want to start with a Q&A, you're welcome to. Some drama in the World Endurance Championship over the weekend, which was interesting. Obviously, I'm on the side of Ferrari on this one. And it looks like the whole thing's going to go to a court of appeals. Now, the crazy thing is that I live in a world where I shared a car with the driver involved, Alessandro Pierguidi, and I can tell you right now, there's no ways he got involved in that incident on purpose. It looked like really unfortunate, and it does look, according to the data, he did slow down to let the Porsche by, but Porsche decided to pit. So it's a really awkward situation, and I hope that the appeal comes up with the right outcome, because yeah, I mean, it's a shame that such an epic battle is going to go to court, And it's also crazy from a fan's perspective that we had a 4-car championship go down to the wire like that and be so intense. I thought that was pretty cool. And given that next year is the last year of GTE Pro, I do wonder if there will even be a GTE Pro category. Let's see. I mean, that's purely from my end speculation, but are these guys still going to be happy to race against the competitors under these circumstances? I don't know. I wasn't there. I was just watching like a fan, like anyone else. In fact, I wasn't watching. Um, my ex-engineer, who you guys may have heard on the show before, Harry Potter, aka Chris Freitas, he said to me, "Are you watching on WhatsApp? There's drama going on." And I turned it on and I saw the whole thing and I saw it unfold and I was like, "Whoa, crazy." Um, but Pierre Guidi is one of the most honest and dedicated people that I know in motorsport and deserves the benefit of the doubt. There's no question about that. I mean, this guy is achieving stuff this year that is unbelievable. He won Spa 24, he won Le Mans, GT World Challenge, maybe World Endurance Championship, and he's leading the Intercontinental GT Challenge. I don't think anyone's ever going to repeat this as a GT racer again. I mean, it's just the likelihood of winning one of those races. Winning Spa 24 once is hard enough. Winning it in the same year as Le Mans uh, is hard enough. Didn't he have to let the Porsche pass? Yes, he slowed down to let the Porsche pass 10 seconds, but the Porsche then boxed. So Porsche never passed him. And then it looks like the FIA was satisfied with Ferrari's effort to literally slow down to a crawl and let the Porsche pass, but it never happened. Mario, what's happening? You're asking, what's the purpose of the track map on the steering wheel? It's got the corner numbers on the track map. And you'll say, but why don't you just study the corner numbers before the race? Well, there's lots of track maps of the same track with different corner numbers associated to it. So depending which track map you download, you could be talking about turn 1 and it could be different to the track map that your engineer is looking at. So the engineer usually says to the mechanics, here's the track map we're going to use. He shrinks it down, they print it, and they just sticky tape it either onto the steering wheel or like usually somewhere up here. The funny thing is, we barely ever look at those things. So oftentimes we'll be like, Kurt, like the worst one is Portugal, because in Portugal, depending on how you count the first 3 corners, it could be 3 corners or it could be 2 corners. So often in Portugal, in Portimao, we say, turn 7 or turn 8, whichever one you're thinking of. I have oversteer through there, whatever. So that's why we have the track maps. So I wanted to play Circuit Superstars, but the other day, I was reorganizing my life and my setup, and I thought that I put all the right cables in here so that this thing can plug into the PC. But all of these cables are USB-C. Oh no, wait, hang on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I just like to do a little bit of this before we jump right into it. Also gives you time to ask me any questions that you have. Yeah, Atkinson, yes. I helped my team win the Le Mans entry, Spirit of Race AF Corsa. And unless something happens to me or to them, I will be doing Le Mans for a second time. So very excited about that. Proud of that. Upset that we finished second yet again in the championship, or the European Le Mans Championship. I finished tied first last year, but they made us second place. So yeah, a little bit upset that we're second again, but at the same time happy to get another shot at Le Mans. I also had to reinstall ACC because it was on the wrong drive, and I have been preparing for the virtual Le Mans series this weekend, which is with Ferrari at the Nordschleife. It's going to be chaos, guys. I highly recommend watching the coverage of this race, because no one's going to come out of a single lap pointing straight. You're going to have around the Nordschleife GTEs and LMP2s. It's going to be a bit wild. If you need to train on a sim from home, which sim are you choosing? Well, I don't use a sim like most people think. Um, I don't use it to learn a track, for example. I definitely don't use it to learn a car because all cars are completely different in real life. Um, what I do use the sim for is mental preparation. So it doesn't actually matter which game I use. Uh, it just it comes down to your sort of it comes down to whatever I need to drive that week. Um, Sometimes I will purposefully drive around a track that I'm going to, but it's more just to get into the mode of thinking about the track in real life as opposed to referencing back to it um, in uh, as you know as reference points as like okay this corner second gear so on. No, I just try to remind myself, oh, remember that in this corner you have to flow like this, flow like that, you have to brake here, and so on. But in terms of getting it precise, I don't use the sim for that because the way that you drive fast in a sim is not the same way that you drive fast in real life. There are different methods. That's why you see a discrepancy when a real racing driver comes to um, when the real racing driver comes to the sim. They're oftentimes not nearly as fast as the sim drivers because the techniques are so different to be fast. Have you ever been to a track and thought this is nothing like the sim? Yeah, most tracks are nothing like the sim. Most tracks are. And what's interesting is that the sim gives you a different perspective on gradients, things that you didn't perceive. If you haven't been to a track before and you played in a sim, and then you go to that track that you prepared for in the sim and you go there in real life, the first thing that's going to hit you is it feels narrower in real life, but also um, it also you start to experience gradients that you just did not exist in the sim. It's just because of the perception of the screens and stuff. Um, Posted one question before. Answer if you don't mind. Not sure what you mean. Can you talk about helmet designs? Did you come up with your design, your team? How often do you change helmets? Well, Greg, we've covered this before, but I never miss an opportunity to talk about helmets. So stand by. We're going step by step here. And maybe this one. All right. Favorite food is a McDonald's Big Mac. Second favorite is sushi. Okay, so I started my life as a designer using Microsoft Paint to design my helmets. And my first helmet looked something like this one. This is many years down the line. Uh, but I used Microsoft Paint to design my first helmet, and then I learned from that how to take the helmet and design it in not Photoshop, in Fireworks. I hate Photoshop. And then my career as a web designer sort of went from there. I was like 18 when I started to design my helmets. So this is sort of the original design. Let me just go out here. Whoop. Okay, how are we looking there? This is the original design, if you will, give or take. It was a little bit more like curvy and stuff. I had like a little Kimi Raikkonen flourish over here, which was like on his original helmets on the top. He had almost like a tattoo style sort of swish to them, which made no sense, but I integrated it on the side. It wasn't because I like Kimi, by the way. I'm actually a massive Alonso fan. That's where a lot of these colors came from. Um, but my design stayed the same for a long time. So this is a karting helmet, Arai specifically, and used that for a long time. And then I don't like to change my helmet designs. So many years later, there's another one there, same design. This is a Stilo, and also my design. I don't paint them, but I do design them. Um, so very similar design actually. I think the painter actually just used that as a, you see, not much change. I don't like to change it because your helmet is not just a representation of you, it's also, it's your logo, you know. And if you can't change your logo all the time, otherwise people don't know how to identify who's in the car and so on. And if you do become a famous racing driver, I do think you should have an identifiable helmet. So um, I I've had the same design forever, but then 2 years ago, I found out that I was going to race in South Africa for the first time. I mean, in a GT car. I've raced in South Africa when I was younger in karts specifically, using using the Arai design, using this design. Um, but I wanted to do something different for the South African race. I wanted to change my colors. I wanted to go for green and gold. So my helmet has never really, prior to this time, it's never really represented South Africa, where I come from, where I'm proud of being from. I don't have any indications of the flag or the colors or anything. So I was like, okay, how am I going to take my existing helmet design and uh, integrate the colors of South Africa? So the biggest issue with the South African flag, from a designer's point of view, is that it's got every color. So it is literally trying to be the colors of the rainbow, if you will. We are the rainbow nation. But that doesn't lend itself to simple, effective designs on a flat surface. I mean, on an object like a helmet. I tried many times before, like tons of times. So I said, screw it. I was able to earn my South African colors, my national colors, for as a racing driver. I can't remember which year. I think it was 2015 or something when I came back to GT racing and I raced in Italian GT. So I was like, I can go with the green and gold, but let me just experiment. Let me see what it's like if I decide to change my design completely, which scared the shit out of me because I like to stay with the same design. I was a little bit bored of it, but it was still my design. So this is what I came up with. Um, I I think I'm going to go back to this design for next year, by the way. Green and gold with South African flourishes. All right. So green and gold, those are national colors. It's what the our national teams wear, like rugby and soccer teams and hockey teams. It's green and gold. All right. Um, so what we got here is actually, oh, and I wanted my name on here. So we got the shape of the South African flag over here. It's very difficult to do this on camera because I don't know which way I'm going. Okay. You got my name, obviously, and then these colors here are the same colors that you'll find in the South African flag. And it's much simpler. Now, this the yellow dot on the top stayed. That was always going to stay. So let's go back to the array. Okay, because I'm a massive Valentino Rossi fan. So it was nice that the green and gold tied in. But massive Rossi fan, and this is not my tribute to him. It's just me wishing that I was Rossi, I suppose. But yeah, different colors. I got to race in South Africa. I used this helmet in South Africa, and it turned out to be everyone's favorite. Then for Le Mans, I wanted to go back to my original colors, but with the new shapes, the new design, but original colors. And for Le Mans, I wanted to do something special. So that's this bad boy, which I love to death, but I will never wear it again. So this is chrome. And if I do Le Mans next year, I will make a new helmet, but it's going to be the real green and gold. So yeah, strange enough, no, for me at least, no Ayrton Senna reference in my helmets. There was no inspiration to use Senna. Senna wasn't. I didn't really like. We didn't watch racing in my house. So in 1994, I was 9 years old. There was no F1 going on in my house, so I didn't really appreciate who Senna was or anything. I only started to watch F1 in like 97 or so. I was obsessed with racing, but I just didn't know what was. I don't know what racing was. So anyway, so here we go. Le Mans special, back to the blue and stuff. And I had two of these helmets made. I had a chrome one, which is this one, which was only worn for 2021 Le Mans. And I had another one made, which I was going to use for the rest of the year, which I did. And it's that one over there. Where is it? That one there. Okay. So those are my helmets, Greg. There you go. I never pass up an opportunity to talk about helmets. Next year, though, definitely going to go back to this color scheme. But I'm going to go for a darker, more deeper green. Same like this. This is actually quite a deep blue. There is another blue one up there, but I didn't really like that blue. So here, you can barely see my name. And that's the point, because it's only meant to be details from afar. I just want you to see that those details there. So I don't want you to see any gradients or anything like that. Just like the big block colors. But when you go up close, you can see the details. And oh yeah, over here is the last South African reference. This there is a quote from Mandela which says, "It seems impossible until it's done." I had to shorten it a little bit. But yeah, that's a Mandela reference in the helmets. They exist in all of them now. So yeah. I'm not sure about British racing green because that defeats the object of going South African, but I do want like a darker, deeper green. Do helmets only last a year? No, they last a very long time, but I have a helmet problem. And I'm sponsored by Stilo. So I get a huge discount on helmets. And my aim is to each year represents is a helmet for me. That's the thing. And like milestones like Le Mans is one where I go, okay, that's the helmet I wore at Le Mans, and it's the Le Mans helmet. One day I'm going to auction all of this stuff off, by the way. So all the trophies and stuff, I'm going to take photos of them. I'll maybe make some replicas of the helmets if I can afford it one day, and then I'm going to auction off the originals. Because yeah, my original painted helmet was given to someone who helped me early on in my racing career. His name is Nick, and he helped me in karting. So I gave him a helmet. He was a big inspiration. He was like a really smart businessman as well. I also gave a helmet to my brother, and then one day, he still has it. I gave him a hard time, but one day I opened his cupboard and it was like upside down in the top corner. He's like, "I'm sorry." Like his son, who was very young at the time, was like kept dropping it, but I didn't know that at the time, so I had to freak out. But that's the thing. When you give something away, you have to let it go. You have to let it be free, you know? So, yeah. Hakkinen fan? No. Valentino Rossi fan. And Alonso as well. If anything, the colors on my helmets would be inspired more by Alonso's original helmets than anything from Senna or Hakkinen or whatever. Let's see what else. Is there anything else to change during a race besides brake ducts? Uh, I suppose it depends on the race, depends on the temperatures. Can you customize your steering wheel buttons in real racing? No. They are as they are. Rossi will be racing next year. Apparently, it's not confirmed. I have raced with him. He wasn't my co-driver, but he was my teammate 2 years ago in Abu Dhabi. I can't tell you how surreal that is. When you go to a race and you're sharing a pit box with your hero. That's like, that shit doesn't happen. Well, it did happen, and it was weird. And I couldn't stop staring. I couldn't stop staring at Rossi. Like, is that him? Yes, it is. So, have you ever thought about full red livery of your helmet? Yes. The red that I really like from Ferrari is that deep red that Kimi Raikkonen had in 2008, 7, 8, 8. So I have considered that because that would be actually quite easy. Especially we'll go with the yellow. I'd use the yellow of the Shell logo in combination with the red of that Ferrari. It would look top. But I don't want to go wild. I want to just, I'm going to go back to this green and gold because that's the helmet design color combo that everyone loved the most. So, Lucky Luke, at the beginning of the stream, I speak about the WEC stuff. Okay, so I was going to do Circuit Superstars, but there's enough of you here now. We've warmed up enough to jump into a bit of onboard stories. So as always, we just got to do a bit of a sound check to see if it's too loud. I don't think it is. It looks a bit loud. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And then full screen this bad boy. Why isn't it full screening? Don't you love that in Windows there's like 8 different ways to full screen and it's all in the interface? I don't think that's good design. Okay. That's still very loud, right? Woo! Woo! Why is it so loud? I mean, it wasn't loud this loud last time. Oh, because we had to adjust it for the games. Okay, so what we got here, for those of you just joining in, the louder the better. Yeah, I know, but then you can't hear me speak. This is from Mugello, Italian GT, endurance race. I actually haven't rewatched this footage. I know it was in my folders. I've been wanting to share it with you guys because it's a race. Last time I showed you qualifying only. This is a cool race. We qualified because it's combined qualifying. Circumstances meant we started at the back of the GT3 grid, and I think we get up to about third before pit stops start to get involved. So, and when I say last in Italian GT, that's like 15th or something like that. But it's still fun. Still fun. So this is qualifying. Last week I told you guys that you usually only get one lap. Here's a good example where you only get one lap. I threw away pole position, and as a result, I was bleak. I missed pole by less than half a tenth of a second, and I'll show you where. Are you a paid professional? Yes, I am. Thank God. Yeah. Okay. I'm a paid professional racing driver. I can't understand if you race for Ferrari or if you're a Ferrari driver. I'm not a factory Ferrari driver, but the only cars that I race are with Ferrari teams. So that would be Rinaldi Racing, Kessel Racing, AF Corsa. If I'm racing, it's in a Ferrari. I'm part of the Ferrari esports team, which is under the Ferrari Drivers Academy. But I get to wear red when I drive in a sim race, but if I can't go to the track wearing red because I'm not in that real life factory division. But I'm a professional, so if I race for a team, the team is paying me to race, and I do race for AF Corsa, which they represent the factory team. So that's pretty sick. But the way I got into AF Corsa was through a combination of Matt Griffin and the team itself. So, okay, how's that for a sound mix? Okay, so this is the outlap. Let's get into it. I can race in whatever I want, but I choose not to. And it's only the Ferrari teams that make me offers because Ferrari's the only team that knows me. The other teams, they don't pay attention to me. They have their own junior drivers that they rather use. So, all right. So outlap. Key thing here, trying to find space. The cool thing about Italian GT is that there's not that many cars in the series, so you get a lot of free space. You get a good opportunity to set a good lap without traffic, which caught me out in Barcelona and GT World Challenge. I was very frustrated about that. So here I hope it's the right one, but yeah, this seems like the first run, I think. I hope it is. We'll find out. Yeah, no, it's the right one. So the key thing here, prepare the tires, prepare the lap. Yeah, this is it. And don't touch any curbs to begin with. Don't use too much of the tire because this track has high degradation. And I was lucky because right in front of me there with my mouse, that's Davide Fumanelli, or David Fumanelli. And he is one of my teammates at Kessel Racing, and incredibly fast, and especially fast around Italian tracks because he is Italian. So here we go. Starting the lap, getting a nice, like, sort of deep V line. You cannot appreciate the insane gradient of this racetrack, but this is for me at least, one of the best racetracks in the world. So let's go. Now you only get one chance. You only get one good lap on these tires in this particular day. So it's also the first time on the weekend that I was using new tires. You can't waste that opportunity. So somehow you got to judge how to take enough curb, how much speed you can carry in without having experienced it once during the weekend. It's the first time with relatively low fuel. Best part of the track is here. That's where I missed pole position. You shouldn't be lifting through the left-hander. I went in too fast, and it compromised that part of the chicane. Go deep here to get a nice V and get on the power as soon as you can. Easy flat through here. And here I get a small snap of oversteer there, and here again, and it just slowed the car down a little bit. And those 3 mistakes cost me pole position, and I'm still pissed with myself because that was probably my best chance for pole position this year, and I didn't get it. Fumanelli got it, my teammate, so well done to him. But I wanted to beat him, so we go for one more lap. But I think already now it's difficult to see because of the lighting, but I can see on the dashboard that I'm not green. So only one lap on these tires. I'll tell you now why we don't use the curbs when the tires are cold. Yes, Pirellis are what we use in Italian GT. Wow! Woo-hoo-hoo! Well, I forgot about that. Holy shit. So you can already see what type. Yeah, we use Pirelli. You can already see over here that I've lost the rear. So that, the fact that you only get one opportunity on the tire means that you have to take it very easy on the outlap to save as much of the life of the tire as you can, and then make sure that lap's perfect. My lap wasn't, screwed up. Still good enough for second, but doesn't matter. Now second in my qualifying, okay, it's combined qualifying. And when I say gone, by the way, I mean from their peak. I mean from like the ultimate lap time. They're still good for a whole session, 1 hour of driving, but in terms of extracting like the best lap of your life, you're unlikely to do it in lap 2. And here's a good example. When I went through here the first time, the rear didn't slide once. I was on rails. But when I go through here, watch how I run. As I turned in there, the rear started to move, and then I'm counter steering the whole way through. I'm now offline, and almost off the track there. Now I'm still trying to carry speed. If I remember correctly, I'm only like 1.5 tenths down at this moment, but I can feel that the tire is probably gone. And we still have a lot of the corners on the lap to go. You can see here, we've got 2 heavy load corners, then downhill chicane, then another heavy load corner, then another, so yeah. So anyway, now let me quickly address that. When a tire is cold, or actually in this case it's not cold, when the tire has low pressure, it's like squidgy, and when you touch a curb, it can damage the sidewall of the tire. Now, curbs like this one here, it doesn't do much, but you just try and look after the tire as much as you can on the outlap. Okay, and then going through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. 1 is okay, missed the apex slightly, and now I'm just trying to just drive like crazy, and big snap at 170 kph, and then I slow down and I declare that it's over. Now, the way that we run our quali is that we have 3 sets for qualifying in the race. So the tires you use in quali carry over to the race. If you don't use one of those sets, you can use that set as a fresh tire, completely new in the race. So what happens is I do Q1 with 1 set of tires. Steve, the doc, he does Q2 with my tire. And then Nico, our other co-driver, he does Q3 with a new tire. So it gives us 1 fresh tire set for the race. And it can give you an example. An advantage. So when I have a moment like this and I realize I can't improve, it's pointless to me trying to get more out of the tire because the doc has to have a go as well. So yeah. So now we're going to head into the pits, and yeah, that was the end of that. And I think this is on the Saturday, so had to think about missing out on pole until Sunday. Yeah, actually that was very true. Okay, now we go to the race. This is already the this is now the warm-up lap. I'm going to skip the warm-up lap. Everyone's going pretty slowly, and we're going to watch this together because I don't remember much of the race. There's a safety car here somewhere, so my thoughts are relatively fresh. I think that Michelin currently makes the best tire, Atkinson. So let's skip to the first flying lap, the race start. Okay, so honestly, during the warm-up lap, no matter how many times you've done this thing, you're still nervous. Okay, and you just the key thing here is if you crash, and it's a 3-hour race. This race was 3 hours. I'm showing you a 1-hour stint. We're going to cut a lot of it. If you crash, like not only do you compromise the championship, but your teammates also don't get to race. And in our case, the person who pays for this party, the doc, Stephen Earle, he drives second. So if I crash and I've wasted so much of his time, his money, he's flown all the way from the States, it's not acceptable. But at the same time, there's an expectation that you are the pro and you're meant to drive as fast as you can and gain as many positions as you can. So there's always a balancing act. And that's what you're thinking on this lap. You're also trying to prepare the car. I think I missed the start here, but the car in front of me, they have their gentleman driver in the car. So he's, for me, high risk. Some of the cars in front of him have all pros in the car. So my aim, at least, is on the first lap to try and get through this Iron Lynx car so I can start to catch the other pros, even though the pros aren't actually our race. So there's the safety car is like basically peeling off, and consider what happened in F1. This is a really long straight, and I think they already start to go now. So I should have been closer, maybe. No, this is not Rigon. This is definitely not Rigon. This is a gentleman driver. Rigon is a factory driver, a legend. Okay, so race start. You can't actually see the lights when you're that far back. Now it's a question of checking your mirrors, trying to get to the right side of the racetrack, and I think he actually lets me through, if anything. In front of me, if I remember correctly, is Matteo Cressoni. You got to be. No, it's not Cressoni in front of me. I can't remember who's in front of you. But anyway, you got to be careful here, thinking gain positions, but also don't damage the car because you don't want to compromise the race. Also, because the warm-up lap is quite slow, the tires, the pressures are quite low as well. So, yeah, you have to wait for your pressures to come in. You can't cut the track too much. You got a full load of fuel on board. The car's just moving around a lot, and you're just hoping that combined with all those factors involved, hopefully you can be the better one who can manage it. That would have been a risky move, but I think we go for the move here. Yeah, down the inside, relatively easy. They were just sliding too much through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. So now it already feels like, yeah, GT Masters is basically it's the most difficult sprint championship in the world, no question. No question. I mean, for two drivers. DTM is also pretty freaking difficult. Look at the field spread after one lap. It's wild. There's already people going into the last turn. So I now somehow got to catch these guys and hope that we can get a race going. I believe now it's Cressoni is in front of me, and in front of him is Fumanelli, the guy who got pole position in our Q1 runs. And this was during a part of the year which was incredibly hot, but also very humid in Mugello. So I think we got lucky. In the second stint, it started to rain, and it stayed wet for the other guys. But when I was driving, it was incredibly hot in the car. And that's why I was touching the AC, by the way. I'm trying to just get it positioned so it's not blowing in my eye. You have to run AC, by the way. So they're now getting slowed down by the cars in front. And I had this huge gap to make up, and we caught them quicker than I expected. Not sure what my top speed is. Check it out next time. It's bottom right. During practice, I was incredibly comfortable with the car and really felt like I was one of the fastest drivers on the track. So it was unfortunate that we had to start so far back, and I wanted to prove that I could fight up front. That was the line I wanted to take in qualifying. Okay, so now getting behind another car, you're nervous because this is actually going to be your first real overtake of the race against the pro drivers. Everyone in front of us here is pro. And for me, getting this first move done, forget the other two moves, getting the first move done is always like the most nerve-wracking moment. And once I get that out the window, then I feel so much more relaxed and like ready to fight. But it was really hard to pass these cars because we were all getting toes. And Cressoni especially, he knows how to position the car. He's a good friend of mine, fantastic racing driver. It just creates just enough doubt. And also, I don't want to crash into Fumanelli at some point either. So Cressoni positions it perfectly, pushes me wide. Not pushes me wide, but positions me wide. There's a big difference. And I can't go for the move on the inside. He would have just kept closing the door, you see. But while this was happening, you'll see that my tires start to go away a bit, and I start to generate quite a lot of oversteer. And you'll see how that really compromises my pace towards the end of the run. Understeer for Cressoni there, but I think because he was staying in a higher gear. Honestly, guys, I wish you could experience this racetrack in real life. It is something else. The strengths of the Ferrari, it's really good on brakes, good on tire wear, but we miss low-end torque, especially compared to the naturally aspirated cars. I say good on tire wear, but it depends. At Barcelona, we're not good on tire wear, but a track like this, we seem to be good on tire wear, so I don't understand why. Taking a slightly different line through that corner. I don't know what corner that is. I only know Casanova, Savelli, and Arrabbiata 1 and 2. So this move here is something I was thinking about a lot during this race, is trying to set up a move down the inside and just get a run down the straights and getting a side draft, which is actually very beneficial. If you get a side draft, oftentimes that can be more powerful, for some strange reason, than just a draft like this one. But the thing is, when you do get a side draft, you get this weird effect where you sort of overtake each other. Here I'm just trying to show Cressoni that I'm in his mirrors, but Matteo is way, way, way too experienced for that. Better understand the slippo. And there I take a bit too much curb and you could hear it touch the bottom of the car. Is Mugello better than Kyalami? I don't know. I don't know, Jay. I like both of them. I think Kyalami has more variety. Like, in essence, Mugello is a sequence of right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. But they're so fast. It's just so fast. This is one of the best car setups I've driven ever, honestly. Like, the way that the car felt, it's been very rare. I had this feeling at Nürburgring this year and Mugello. Actually, this year I've driven some pretty phenomenal car setups, honestly, but this was really a highlight. Felt like I could put the car wherever I wanted. I felt like when it was sliding, it was easy to catch. Yes, cars at this level with these teams are... Here's a good run, but still not quite enough, I think, because he's just going to keep protecting. Yeah, these cars get refurbished all the time. They're 700,000 euro cars, so... I probably could have gone for a move here. I should have been more aggressive, but Cressoni has the line for the next left-hander. Oh! I think GT World Challenge and GT Masters are equally difficult. Does this race organization change the BOP? They use a variation of the SRO BOP. How much do pro drivers get paid? I can't tell you that, my friend. But you'll be surprised. You think GT drivers are not millionaires. More like the top ones are probably like well-paid dentists or something. No, I mean, used parts, they all get refurbished. Like, they have, especially like at Kessel, AF Corsa, and at Rinaldi, they have fabricators who can make any part of this car. They could probably make with their hand almost. So a lot of these parts just get repaired. Now the BMW in front is starting to slow us down, which results in this massive field spread. I'm going to get to, once we overtake Cressoni, we're going to skip a little bit forward, and because there's going to be an incident followed by a safety car. So I just don't want to take the risk of going down the inside of Matteo, car 21 in front of us, and taking him out his suspension. So I'm trying to wait for him to run wide somewhere. Yes, you can get the move done into T1, but I don't think it's worth the risk right now. Here's a good run. Let's see if I go down the inside now. Most pro GT drivers who aren't factory work more than one job, just so you know that. Like myself, I couldn't just live off my racing salary. Definitely not. That's why there's Coach Dave and SimGrid. Okay, so we passed Matteo, overtook him. We got a good run. Let's just quickly review that. got a good run on the exit of the first set of chicanes, and he was he was not fighting me because he's a wise old fox. Um, so fake down the inside here. He doesn't get on the ideal line there, which is going to squeeze him for this right-hander. He understeers because he squeezed the line, and that hesitates just for a fraction of a second when he can get on the power. I get a run, and he decides not to fight me into here. We don't have Newton meters on the steering wheel. We don't know what the force is. George, I drive, as I mentioned earlier, I drive for 3 teams. Depending. Next year I'm probably only going to drive for 1. We don't know yet. Okay, so with Cressoni dispatched, time to go off to Fumanelli, my teammate, Fuma, who's stuck behind this BMW. The BMW is so difficult to pass because in this championship they have really, really good top speed. To be a platinum ranked driver, you have to be a factory driver and have won some pretty cool shit. Hopefully, I never get cursed with the platinum or gold driver ranking because I will never race again. But we've already covered this. If you watch the previous stream, I go into great detail about why you don't want to be upgraded. Yeah, I'm racing for Kessel in this one. There's a... Oh, you can't see it. My face is there. But there is a Kessel logo on this onboard video. It's just behind my face right now. Who's the factory driver for BMW who raced in DTM? Spengler. Bruno Spengler. I believe he was in the car. Catching them. Car feels great. By the way, Cressoni's right behind me the whole time. What a racetrack. What a racetrack. Fumanelli, Davide Fumanelli. Oh, I was trying to squeeze the line. There's a little secret that you can use. It doesn't work all the time, and it's not perfect, but the Ferrari does understeer if you're in a slipstream a lot. So you do try and run just very different lines to try and get as much air onto the front of the car as possible to give you steering. So even through here, if you're in a big slipstream, you will understeer. Nice late apex incoming. And just trying my best to catch them. Let's see if we skip 1 or 2 laps. Otherwise we will be here literally for an hour, and we don't want to do that. I just want to get to the action as much as we can. So remember, we've overtaken 3 cars so far. First time I raced at night, drove at night was just unbelievable. It was so cool. I loved every second of it. And driving at night is definitely my favorite part of racing, unquestionably. Okay, so we're a little bit closer here. How much fluids do you take? I'm pretty bad with it. I don't race with a drinks bottle unless I know I'm doing a double stint. And yeah, I have to keep reminding myself to drink before the race. But oftentimes I don't drink as much as I should. No, at night it's not blurry. It's just you can't see far ahead, so it feels so much faster. Okay, so we're closer to Fuma now. We get stuck behind him for a while here. And I ask the team on the radio, I'm asking him, can Fuma let me through? Fumanelli, can he let me through so I can try and have a go at the BMW? And they said no. There's no team orders in this race. And that's because Davide is racing for another customer. We have to respect what that customer wants. So you know, we're in the Pro-Am category. Pro driver with an Am driver, bronze driver. So you have to, whoa, you have to respect the customer in that car as well. So I'm pushing my luck by asking to be let through, but they say no. So now it's on. We are losing time to the leaders. We know that the only way for us to win this race is to try and get into the pro pack as quickly as possible and pull away with them. So, Jacob, I speak about the WEC thing at the beginning of the stream, my friend. So, Fuma has the benefit of the slipstream of that BMW, which makes it really hard to get in front. This back marker here brings the whole field of leaders closer to us, but then I'm compromised here a little bit. No, look at this. Oh baby, it's awesome. You got to always hope that the back markers, especially the GT4s, they know that there's more than one of you coming. And I've been a back marker in it. Like when I race GTE, I'm a back marker for the prototypes. And on a track like this, where there's blind crests and everything, and you having to look forward and behind, oh my god, it's so difficult. See the understeer there? Let me just quickly go back a little bit so you can see. How do you know that there's understeer? Watch my hand position, but also watch the throttle. I'm using the throttle, I'm going off the throttle to try and get the car to rotate in the slipstream. So almost understeer off the track there. And not so bad through there. I tried to get on the power a bit early there to try and get a good exit, but it actually cost me a shit ton of time. Trying to take a tight line here, but the run is just not enough. Trying to get on the power earlier. There's so many different lines through that corner because of the banking. It's like, it's so sick. It's so damn cool. But it means that there's no like perfect way. There's no like, oh, if you take this line, you're going to get the run. Because you all kind of land up in the same spot, like a normal bank turn. Getting closer though, that's for sure. But, I mean, Fuma got pole the day before. He is clearly very quick, and I think clearly being held up by this BMW. Look here, Fuma is now right up there. By now, I've definitely told the team, and now Fuma is going to go like, okay, well, I'm going to have a go trying to overtake him. Turning in too early, a little bit blinded probably by the car in front. I think it's possible to overtake the Beamer, but you have to do it in Sector 2, and you have to take a massive risk. But Fumanelli is trying everything. He's doing the lines, every line that I would have done as well. And the BMW is just driving smart racing lines. I think that over here is an opportunity, so he goes tight there. And then you would have to try and overtake him into the last corner. And then the BMW would slipstream past you, but then you overtake him into turn 1. So you could set up a move from that long right-hander, but everything would have to be perfect. I'm really enjoying the tighter line. It's definitely giving me something on entry, but yeah, I'd say net quicker. I think it's Bruno. It could be his other co-driver. His other co-driver, I forget his name, is also very quick, very handy. But it could have been Bruno. Do you brake earlier when following another car? Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to hit into them. It depends also, like, at a track like this where there's margin, you can brake very late. But I would say I'm definitely leaving something on the table for braking when behind another car, especially your teammate. You're not going to want to hit your teammate, ever. So, but I'm getting impatient. So now I'm thinking to myself, well, if I get the chance, I'm going to overtake Fuma and then go after the BMW. So that becomes a risky factor as well. So I'm losing time now through the Arabiatas because I've lost my reference points. And for me, one of the things, I need reference points to be fast as a racing driver. So now you can see the hand movements and everything. I'm becoming a bit more reactive. Cressoni's right behind me, the guy that I overtook previously. Look, Fuma has a run here, okay? So now he's set up a run there, okay? He has to stay as close to the BMW as possible, but look at the BMW pulling away. Even though Fuma exited the corner side by side, the BMW is now 2 or 3 car lengths away. So Fuma now has no opportunity to overtake him through that sequence. We're coming back to more back markers, and I lose time on the exit. So now Fuma's trying to get a double slipstream. He's trying to get a slipstream from the Ferrari Challenge car, which will hopefully feed him into the BMW. I'm hoping that the Ferrari Challenge car knows that I'm coming. So I drive around the outside of him. Luckily, he did see me coming. Otherwise, I would have lost bundles of time. And now we're catching the second Iron Lynx car, driven by Michelle Gatting, an incredibly fast racing driver. She does not get the credit she deserves at the moment. I mean, it's just an example. The BMW being quick in a straight, it's clearly missing something in the corners, so they balance that with performance on the straights, but it just makes it very difficult for a Ferrari, especially an Italian GT. Oh, look at that. That guy just went off. Holy. Replay. I remember seeing this and thinking, well, that's not ideal. And there was a few times where I had some moments as well. So you can already see he's offline there and he's losing the rear. He's already crashing over there. This almost happened to me in qualifying. I just forgot to upload it to this computer. I wanted to show you the snap oversteer I had on the exit of that corner. Holy crap. I was fully crossed up. It was cool because it was also on the Italian GT coverage. But I forgot to upload it. Tando, I'm South African, my man. So RIP Audi, we gained a position for just, yeah, being lucky, I suppose, staying on the track. So the car that crashed is an Audi, and it's a pro car. So in that case, I think it's the team who is more pissed than the drivers. I think it's 2 pro drivers who are paid to be in that car. The Audi team in this championship take this very seriously. They won this championship. Now, what you can't see is that there's 2 or 3 Ferraris that have just gone off into the distance. We cannot even see the 3 pro leaders. But my attention is changed from that. I just want to get past Fuma and the BMW. So once we get past the BMW, we've got 2 more Ferraris to go. I'm from Cape Town, my man. I'm a Cape Townian, but I live in the UK for my racing stuff. Here's a good slipstream, but it's not enough. Can't overtake Fuma unless the move is absolutely clean. Yeah. Fuma is obligated to defend because, despite us being teammates, his co-driver also wants to win Pro-Am. So where can you buy a 48 GT3? Well, I hope if you have the money. I mean, Rinaldi, Kessel, AF, they all will sell you one. It's not that distracting. Your eye should always be on your reference points. You shouldn't be car watching. You just hope that they don't come back onto the track. So the corner of your eye, you're watching them go off. You're also looking where you're going on the track. You're gonna lose time, but it's not distracting. It's just part of the race. I live in London, mate. I live in London. No, it's Michelle Gatting in the Woo! Sorry. Uh, okay. Shit's about to get real. I just want to see, in case you guys are getting some lag. Okay, so now Fuma's really going for it. Okay. Um, I try to overtake him. He's now like, if I don't get past this BMW, I'm gonna end up, um, I'm gonna end up losing a place to David. So he's going aggressive now. He's doing what any of us would do. So now, actually, he's in a good position here. If I was him, I would probably go for a move down the inside and just try and stick it there and like try and get that side draft out onto the main straight. That's what I would try and do. Let's see, does he go for the inside? Oh, he's doing it! He's doing it! Okay, so now the BMW has to either close the door or give him space. Oh, they touch, and they're off. Shit. So, yeah, that was in an ideal situation. And I was sad because I wanted to race both of them, but now they both took each other out, and that was a bummer. That was a bummer. Puma ended up getting a penalty for that, but I don't think it was his fault. I do think it was 50-50, because I think he was more than close enough to them to get something done. But the BMW was also closing the line. I think more space could have been given, and I don't think Puma should have got a penalty for that one. Yeah, at least the BMW's out the way. Fair enough. But you know, you want to benefit from the racing. So now there's a safety car. So now, remember, the target is to try and get into the pro sort of category, because we've been mixing it with pro-am. And I mean, the cars in front are pro, but I mean the whole pro group. No, the penalty, he didn't. Neither car was able to continue. They had damage. And he got a penalty at the last race in Monza, like a grid place penalty. How does it feel to have this car in your hands after so many years? Epic. And also, I've driven it for four and a half years now, so it really does feel like I understand the car really, really, really well. I definitely understand the Ferrari really, really well. I also know like all the systems and setups and stuff. I have a lot of experience with the car now, so for me, I'm able to arrive at a setup quicker than guys who have less experience in this car, and that makes it much. And I mean, when I say I arrive at the setup, I mean I give feedback to the engineer. They make the decision, but I can say I can tell now. I know when it's a damper change or a suspension change. I can tell roll bars versus diffs and so on. The engineer will always decide which way to go, but I at least have it. I'm able to now give good enough feedback. Yeah, I raced 458 for 1 year. Yeah. GT3 cars aren't that big. They're smaller than Formula One cars. That's for sure. Yeah, each 488 has its own characteristics, but it's within like a small percentage margin. Okay, now I hope I have the whole part of the stint. It looks like I do. Okay, so do you get attached to the cars you race? No, not really, because even though it's a Ferrari and racing a Ferrari is like for me beyond a dream, it's still a racing car. I don't feel precious about the cars. I do miss the green Rinaldi that I raced in 2018. I really wish we could have stayed. Oh no, 2019. I wish we could have stayed with that green Rinaldi. Um, I mean, we used it in GT World Challenge this year, but this year it's red. I like the green version. So, Tandor, the best thing um, is to go to my website and, well, let's get this thing rolling. Oh, I have to sign into chat. Tando, if you go davidperrell.net/about, you'll see my story about how I became a racing driver. So let's see how long the safety car lasts. Now, new challenge, okay, is the tire temperatures are dropping. And yeah, this year I won ELMS Monza. The tire temperatures are dropping, and there's a lot of pickup on the side of the track. Pickup is the rubber marbles. And you're trying your best to stay off that, but you also want to warm up the tires. So what do? Do you go offline to warm up the tires? Or do you let your tires cool and stay online and don't get pickup? Pickup is when you pick up when the marbles that have worn off the tire, the rubber that's come off the tire, is now lying on the side of the track. And then if you drive over that stuff, you literally pick it up. It sticks back onto your tire, and it takes forever to get that shit off. So it looks like this is the restart. Is it? Where's the safety car? Oh no, still got the safety car. Oh no, this is definitely still... Sorry. Yeah, this is definitely still safety car. It's difficult to judge. I just don't want to bore you with all the safety car stuff. Okay, we're green now, you can tell. Alright, so... Okay, let's go back a little bit. Now, safety car restarts for everyone. You see that? Yeah, look at all... Okay, you could see there briefly. You'll see black rubber getting flicked up. That's all the pickup. When you're warming up the tires, you're compromising that by getting pickup. You're picking up the marbles on the side of the track. I decided not to warm up my tires, so I had cold tires, but I had less pickup. You don't know which one's going to win out, I promise you. We are now in the leading group of cars. I think there's 5 cars in front of us. So we've gone from P12 or P15 or whatever. Cars have gone off and so on. We've overtaken some cars. We're now fighting for like top 5 or top 7. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, Tristan got it. Gonna sort that shit out. I'm looking which gloves I'm gonna send you, my man, but I did get it. How did I end up with Ferrari? I raced in Lamborghini Super Trofeo with Bonaldi, and then the following year I had no money at all. And this opportunity came up where Kessel were looking for a bronze driver, but they needed money. But it was easier for me to find a sponsor when I was racing a Ferrari than racing anything else. So I managed to find a sponsor who paid for my first 3 races, and it kind of went from there. Yeah. Over here, these blocks here, that's tire temperature and pressures. But they don't have numbers there. I have numbers over here in the dash, which you can't see on this stream. See, look at all that stuff flying in the air there. You missed that. There it is. Look, like there's pickup being flicked up everywhere. So we got a Lambo, Audi, we got 2 Ferraris, 3 Ferraris. So it's go time. You can see how much pickup there is just being thrown out. So now I'm behind Gutting. I get a really good restart. GTE is much better. Do you drag the brake? Sometimes. Okay, still lots of pickup being flown around. I don't know if you guys can see it on the quality of the stream. I have to go for a move here. No. Oh. I probably should have gone for a move there. But you know what? It's easy to say from here, especially with this FOV of this camera. It makes it look quite slow as well. Okay, I think we're going to go for another Cressoni move. Who's right behind me, by the way? Okay, more rubber being flicked up. Down the inside. Let's try and catch these guys here. We've done all we need to do. We had a good start. We made positions. We didn't get any damage. and we were within the leading group. I'm now, I think, the leading Pro-Am car. We wanted to be closer to the leaders, but look how much time we lost there just trying to do one overtake. Look at that. We started the restart, they were like right in front of us. It's pretty crazy, right? Yes, I race in the same series as Fassbender. Let's try and catch the pro guys. Now, the day before in qualifying, I out-qualified these guys. So, tire dependent, maybe I can catch them. Do I prefer GTE or GT3? GTE. So, Valentin, if you watch, I think 2 streams ago, I cover the difference between a GTE and a GT3 around Portimao. What GT3 car would you like to test? I'm in my happy place. I wouldn't want to drive anything else. Yeah, we have ABS and traction control in the GT3 cars. Whoa, so tires are not ideal. Probably still on the low pressure side, not cold but low pressure. But now you know that these tires won't be used again. These tires will get thrown away, and I'm gonna try and catch these guys and just risk damaging the tire. What budget do you need for a season of GT3? Between 300,000 and €1 million. Well, you got to find that budget from somewhere when you're a rookie. Thank God I don't have to find that, because I would never be able to. I could only ever find sponsorship for 3 races. After that, it was yeah, purely for fun. No, I don't have any desire. I mean, I'd like to see what the Mercedes feels like to drive, but Ferrari to me is, I'm just so happy every time I walk into the pits and I get to drive a Ferrari. It's insane. It's insane. I've been a Ferrari fan my whole life. It's all I've ever wanted to drive. 3 races. I don't know. It was 150k for the season, and it was 5 races. So, but I could only pay for the first 3. I couldn't actually pay for the whole season. I'm still paying off that debt, actually. Yeah, I earn money for racing. I don't have to pay these fees anymore. I only paid it in my first year. In order to afford to race in these series, you either have to be incredibly rich, which I wasn't, or you have to find sponsors. So I always tell people, if you want to become a racing driver, first become an entrepreneur, become a businessman or woman, a business person, become a business person, and make money, as much money as you can. And then when you're like 40, 45 and you're a multi-millionaire, you can afford to race as much as you want. What's a DDE 48 GT3? What's that? I think we're catching these guys. I don't remember much of this part of the race. I remember the race with Fuma. So the drivers in the Gentleman Driver series, I think they actually own their cars and stuff. Those are like the ultra rich. Yeah, but Fassbender's not paying to race. I think Porsche pays for Fassbender. That's unconfirmed. But I think that's the case. Tristan, it's a combination between rich drivers and professional drivers. Drivers who found sponsors, drivers who come from wealthy families, drivers who are self-made. There's a lot of self-made people here who are incredibly talented at life. I don't watch daily driven exotics. Wow, going for the inside, but it didn't work. Yeah, I would say it's around, for a race like this, it's probably around 60 to 70k. And I'm guessing for like Spa, it's like 300, and for Le Mans, it's 1.2. This seems to be my favorite corner to overtake. Oh, no! Woo! We're definitely doing a replay of that. Do I go for the inside here? This is... Okay, now I'm taking risks now. Maybe unnecessary risks. Yeah, this kind of racing is no joke, guys. It's no joke. Scott, what's happening? Okay, so let's see what happened there. Let's do a little bit of a rerun. I mean, I've been distracted trying to answer questions. How to become a pro driver? Get good. Find sponsors. Pay for your seats with sponsorship money, or become an entrepreneur. It's much easier to become a businessman and pay for your seat that way than it is to find a sponsor. Pay for your seat. Prove that you're good. Do not crash. Prove that you're fast. Maybe teams will let you race for free. Keep doing that for free. Find a way to travel and stuff. And then if you're good in that phase, then someone will maybe offer you money. So they're flickering because they're LED lights and the frame rate of the camera can't keep up. That's why. That's why the rear brake lights flicker. Okay, so he gets slowed out of the exit of the first chicane, which gives me a run into the second chicane. But why was he slow out of that chicane there? He took the right lines, but he's just struggling with tires, I think. He's struggling with tires. I get a better run here. He misses the apex. Very important to get on the curb there. He gets huge understeer and can't get on the power. And then I try to go down the inside. Ah! But I can see he's probably still on my right. Yeah, he didn't want to give me the position. Okay. Tando, I would start with sim racing, then karting, then GT4, GT3. LMP3 is also another route, but you're going to need about 150,000 euros for a season there. So trying to overtake this guy meant that we lost the lead to the other guys, and I think the leaders are now going to start to pit. So in the end, we went from like, it must have been P15 or something, or P12. I think it was P12. I think, let's see what happens here. I think this car actually goes in the pits, and I was really bleak about that because I wanted to overtake him. But again, I'm recalling this. I don't have memory of this. Oh, down the inside, but not running wide. He's giving me the space. Oh, let's see if we get a side draft. Is he going to box? We'll know if I move over to the right. No, look at the side draft. Here we go. You'll see I get a run, and then he'll go into my side draft, and he'll get a run. And it kind of yo-yos like this. So now I've got to try and hope to make a move around the outside. I squeeze him, and I get the move done. Stoked. Side draft is like, what if you crash the car? Do you need to pay for the yourself after paying for your seats? Yeah. I mean, who's going to pay for your damages? Oftentimes your damage, if you crash a Ferrari and it's like big damage, it's going to be, I don't know, 200, 300,000 euros sometimes with big damage. Even with insurance only covers to a certain amount. So you'd still be in for like 30 to 90,000 euros. So I'm pretty stoked with that move. We set it up all the way in the final turn. We set up a move into turn 1. That's pretty sick. That means that there was like no panic, there was planning involved, and despite it looking like close and risky racing, it wasn't high risk because You had a plan in place. Now the guys in front of me, I'm already catching them because they're fighting as well. I luckily wasn't in the car when the car crashed in Monza in 2017. That was my co-driver. But if someone crashes into you, you still pay. A side draft is, instead of getting a slipstream, it's like a side slipstream because the air is coming off the car and doing this kind of thing. So you want to get into that little pocket. Look, they're racing each other. Lamborghini goes for the inside of the Audi. This means I'm getting to catch the overall leaders. Consider we started at the back of this grid, so pretty stoked. Yeah, GT4s are not slow, guys. Trust me. Oh, the battle is on here. Come on, let's catch them. Ah. No, if you're getting paid to race, you don't pay for the damage. No plans to vlog again. It took too much mental energy. Yeah, so now we're into P4 overall, before pit stops, and catching the pro leaders of the Italian GT Championship. The first series I raced in, by the way, was 2015. I'm going to try and dig up some onboards from that. 2015, Lamborghini Gallardo in the Italian GT. I was in the GT Cup category, one below, and I used to watch the GT3s and wish I could have raced in GT3s and seen how I could hang with the best of Italy in GT cars. Well, some of the best in Italy. We're missing here Bortolotti, Mugello, Rigon. But I raced Rigon in Monza, so had a chance there. So anyway, and here we are trying to catch the guys. But I did have an experience in 2019 in Italian GT where we ended up pole position and winning. There's a video about that, by the way. This Audi's really struggling. Did you see that? Here's the thing. You know, eventually a track like this with heavy cars, the tire is eventually going to give in. High load corners. Watch the snap that he gets here. So however bad it is for me, my car's moving, but it's not moving like that. Sam, I came from sim racing. I was a sim racer in Gran Turismo, GT Academy. I used sim racing to prepare for real life racing, and I jumped straight from karts to GT with a 7-year gap in between. And during that time, I was just playing R Factor, a little bit of iRacing, and a lot of Gran Turismo. So James Baldwin is one, but James Baldwin has the same problem we all have. We all have the same problem. How are you going to pay for your rookie years? How are you going to pay for your rookie years? Even at some point when Jimmy wants to get to GT3s, someone's going to have to pay for Jimmer. You know, Super GT also has great potential to be a GT3 driver. Someone's going to have to pay for Super GT. So it doesn't matter where you find the money, but it has to come from somewhere. Look at the race that's going up on up front, and we're catching it. I get stoked when I watch this stuff. It means I don't suck. We're catching the leaders here, ladies and gentlemen. But I think they're going to start to go into the pit soon. If you look here on my dash, that 53, that's stint time. We drive for 65 minutes in this race. So I know that I have quite a while to go in my stint. But these guys, they're not really fixed on that. You see, I'm going to maximize my stint length because we want to minimize the amount of time that the doc is in the car, so that we can maximize the time of the pro drivers in the car. The doc is the amateur, so he drives for like 52 to 55 minutes, and on either side of him are the pros. So we'll drive for 60, 65. The limit is 65. In the case of the pros in front, they will drive to the whatever's optimum for a pro lineup. They go pro. We go pro-am pro. So for them, it maybe makes sense that one of these drivers boxes early. The Doc has been racing since 1992 or something like that. GT3's racing in all kinds of series, man. Italian GT, GT Masters, which is Germany. Oh, the side-by-side action! They race in American IMSA, American GT World Challenge, GT World Challenge Europe, GT World Challenge Asia. GT3 racing is the most popular form of racing outside of probably Formula 4s. Okay, so Lambo in. We're now up to third, but that's because one of them stopped. I haven't raced in America, no. I would love to, though. Still lots of pickup getting thrown at the car. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. Oh, why? I hate the touchpad on this. You know what? The next investment's going to be is to not use this touchpad. It's actually going to use a mouse. I need like a little mount here. Actually, I want to sell this rig. This is a Sparko rig. Who wants to buy it? You have to be based in the UK. If you want to buy the Sparko rig, I don't know, send me an email via my website, because I want to replace it. I want to get like one of those modular ones. 100 quid, you must be mad. Okay, look around this area here. You're going to see a lot of pickup being flown at the car. Boom, there was one. Okay, obviously now I pointed out that it's not there. They're still racing each other. Now, if I was the Audi, I would just wait for my pit stop. But it's also, there's something special about going into the pits in front of your competitors. Even though it doesn't mean that much in a 3-hour race, but it is important. This Audi goes on to win the race in any case, so... Audi running wide, tires are cooked. D'Amato in front, he's the leading Ferrari now, was flying, by the way. He was flying. I couldn't actually keep up with him. I knew that once he got past these cars, I wouldn't be able to keep up. This is Italian GT. This is not WEC. In WEC, they use GTE cars, which I covered in the two live streams ago. GTE AM is only finishing in end of 2023, I think, so we're good. Oh, trying to get as close as I can. Please don't box. Please give me the chance to overtake you. Oh, we got one more lap with the Audi. Yeah, baby. Oh, which series is Lamar part of? Yeah, World Endurance Championship. And we're catching some back markers here. This Audi is struggling. Whoa! Just has no rear grip. I'm going down a gear there, which I wasn't previously, which shows you that we're all struggling a bit here. Oh my god, that was a bit risky. Almost up to second. Come on! Go for the time! I don't remember this at all. I might as well be commentating on another driver right now, because I don't remember this. Yeah, guys, I cover the GTE versus GT3 thing a lot in my two streams ago. They are very different, but you're going to have to watch those streams to find out the details. Okay, so getting close here. I can't commentate on this because I'm watching it at the same time you guys are, and even though I raced in it, I don't really remember this part at all. I thought that this Audi boxed before I even got close to him. So, I mean, he probably does box now, but I don't remember being this close to him. I remember being close to the Ferrari for some reason. Shows you what your mind does. It plays tricks. He's definitely struggling with rear grip though, that's for sure. If I can hold it tighter. Okay, surely now he's going in. I've got to run on him. No, he stays out. We can go for second here. We can go for second here. No, GT3 will stay with what GT3 is right now. They're not going to make it more hardcore. They're going to. The aim of GT3 is affordable, within reason, affordable racing for wealthy individuals. Are we going to go for my favorite move down the inside of this next chicane? Debatable. But this Audi he couldn't make an apex if you, I don't know, if you gave him 100 chances right now. Those tires are cooked. ACC is GT World Challenge, GT3s. This Audi is not strong anyway, guys. He's struggling at the moment. The Ferrari is clearly quicker. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to stay this close in the slipstream. But I should have gone for a move down the inside of T1, but he's defending for his life. Who can blame him? Oh, that was quick. I'm running much tighter lines compared to the beginning of the race. Okay, that I think is our little battle over, because how much time is 59 minutes? He must be coming into the pits now. I still have 5 minutes to go. Trying to get close to him. It's not going to happen. And I'm overdriving now because I'm excited. I want to overtake the guy. There he goes. How would you consider the level of Rossi? He's a decent silver. He's not quite yet at the top, like capable of being a gold yet, but he's damn fast and nonetheless. He's hardworking. Like when I shared the box with him, he never didn't. That was terrible English. He always had a track map in his hand on a clipboard and making notes. So the guy works crazy hard. Alright, so that pretty much sums up the end of the stint. I mean, overtaking a couple of back markers, but we've got 2 minutes left in this thing. And there's not much left in the stint in any case to talk about, because all of our competitors are either right behind us or have peeled away. So, yeah, that was fun. And I don't remember that part, so I'm stoked that we revisited this, because I wouldn't have really watched this far into the stint again in future. Usually we just watch our qualifying laps when we go back to a track, which is weird. So okay, so I was going to play ACC after this. I'm not sure what my season looks like next year. I don't know if I'm doing Spa. I do know that unless the ceiling falls on top of my head, like getting upgraded to gold, I will do Le Mans. If I get upgraded to gold, guys, this is it. These are the last onboard videos you're going to see of me as a racing driver, probably. So yeah, I just got to stay out as long as possible. 61 minutes left of the stints, so the limit is 65. This could probably be my in-lap. But yeah, that was a really awesome stint. I'm proud of that stint. We did some pretty good overtaking maneuvers. We survived safety car periods. Yeah, so what we can do now is, I mean, we can hang out a little bit more, because I have got an addiction right now to Circuit Superstars. We were going to play ACC, but I have to reinstall it, because this weekend we're doing virtual Le Mans. I had to uninstall ACC to have enough space on my one of my hard disks for R Factor to update, and the only way I could get enough space was to delete ACC. So I now moved ACC to the other hard disk, but I haven't finished setup. What a nightmare. What do I think of the Corvette C8 Z06? Looks like... Yeah, it looks cool. Looks cool. Getting upgraded, you have to win a championship, or you have to be as fast as the people that are in the higher ranking. So if you're consistently topping timesheets and so on in practice and qualifying, then there's a likelihood that you'll be upgraded. Surprisingly, the delta's gone green. So these laps are quick, but it must be... There's 6 seconds to go. The virtual Le Mans series is this weekend, by the way. And that's the end of the onboard story. There's quite a lot of you watching that one. I have got Suzuka footage, but I'm not allowed to share it. Sorry. Sorry, not allowed to share it. The team wouldn't let me. We're lucky that Kessel will let me share this stuff. Okay. Would you rather be gold or super famous on here? Neither. I don't want to be famous. I want to stay silver so I can keep racing. I train, it depends. I train a lot at the beginning of the season, and then during the season, when you're traveling a lot, it's difficult to train. So I don't train that much during the season. Don't worry, Hex. This stream will go back online later, so we cover quite a lot. It's the virtual Le Mans series. So this weekend we're racing at the Nordschleife. If you go gold, would you compete in a different series? No, I just wouldn't compete because there's faster gold drivers. It's almost impossible to get downgraded from gold. Oh, by the way, I just want to do a little bit of promotion here because I know that some of you are iRacing fans, and today I figured out a way to make our iRacing setup subscription free for a week, and you don't have to share your credit card with us. So you can try our setups for 7 days, our iRacing ones, and if you like them, then you can, after 7 days, you can enter in your card details. So let me just share my desktop quick. Oh, by the way, this is the Ferrari. If I was going to miss a Ferrari, it's this one here. I love that car. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so our iRacing subscription project is something that we're working on. Mike, don't worry, I can remove it at any time. It's something that we're working on to see if we can establish ourselves in the iRacing space. We already do quite well in the ACC space. So what we did was we created a team of iRacing drivers and engineers. This is very important. Like whenever we do a project, we make sure that we have experts working on that project. Like it's not me doing the setups. You wouldn't want my setup work because I barely get to play Sims lately. All right. So anyway, what we're doing at the moment with these iRacing setups is we're focusing on the VRS series. Ironic, I know. The IMSA series and fixed data packs, the Porsche Cup series, and the Ferrari fixed data pack. And if you subscribe, which is $9 a month, you can get all of that stuff. So here's what we list here. $9 a month, but what's cool now, okay, this is in pounds because I'm in Britain, so £7.99. What's cool is that now when you want to try the setups, you don't have to give us your credit card details or anything. It's for free. It's for free for a week. Have a go. I'm pretty sure you're going to like what you try here. So, yeah, check that out. You can also view the collections. All the setups that you get is pretty substantial. We launch a new track setup for each car at the beginning of each week. So, as the iRacing season rolls on, we launch setups for those tracks. Okay. So let's see here. Here's a list of all the cars that we do. Ford GT for the endurance and sprint of VRS, Porsche, BMW, Lambo, Audi, Ferrari, all for VRS. Porsche Cup, which is pretty cool. And then the IMSA setups for the Dallara. I see the Ferrari data bundle is not listed on this page. It is there, but I realize I made a mistake with the bugs. So if you click on fixed, it should come up. There we go. There they are. All right. So yeah, I invite you to try our stuff for free. And if you dig, you can always come back and pay for it. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of circuit superstars to end off this thing. I managed to get my brother addicted to this stuff. So at some point, I don't know if there's crossplay. Yeah, in the SRO, I'm probably going to be a gold rank driver, is what I've been told, and that's a shame because I probably won't race in SRO. So yeah, plans during the off season are to, well, run Coach Dave Academy and SimGrid. So I managed to convince my brother. No, the ACC setups we can't do free for a week because the unique thing about iRacing is that the setups change almost at the end of each season. The physics change, whereas with the ACC, so if I give you a week free in iRacing, all the setups from the prior week don't mean much. You know, you get to experience that week's setups. So from a business case, it's not so risky for me. But if you tried the ACC setups for a week, you'd be able to download everything, cancel the subscription, you'd never need us again. So, right. So let's do a bit of Circuit Superstars to end this these shenanigans. All right, game capture. Okay, cool. Go back there. Why can't I hear anything? Super truck, no, rally. Honestly, I love this game so much at the moment. So you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. For those of you who enjoyed the onboard story, thanks for watching. We will be back next Tuesday. I don't know what for. For those of you who want to hang out, let's play some Circle Superstars. No Bentley setups because Bentley don't like us selling their setups. So RIP me. We had to delist them. Nick Babin, what's up, my man? Okay, let's go. Free setup. Well, yeah, Bentley for some reason can do that. Oh, we need to turn this up. You're not going to hear the cars. Okay, I hope that's not too loud because now I have to go into performance mode. Yeah, it's a... How's the sound mix? How's the sound mix? What's going on there? Why have they gotten dumb? Remember last time when we played, it was... The difficulty was of it. Super hard. Which car am I? Oh, am I in the lead? Oh, what? Oh, shit. Okay, get the run, get the run. I lost... I forgot which car it was. Well, not forgot, but I got confused with the liveries. Flat through here. Oh, shit. David, keep it together. That was a terrible lap. Loudest. Okay, changing it. Cranking it down quite a lot. Obviously, I can't do it while I'm trying to drive, so. P8 again? Unreal. Going for the move. Rest in peace, brother. Too wide. almost all flat there. I had to do a small lift. Oh no! Next week we are definitely going to have ACC up and running again, and we'll do a daily race so that we can all race against each other. Almost clipped the curb there again. I mean the wall. So it's a replay of Pergusa. We need a safety car. Why don't I do setups for this? Well, I have thought about how can we bring this into SimGrid. That is for sure. I'm pretty sure there's a way that we can implement Circuit Superstars into SimGrid so that you can organize Circuit Superstar championships. Because at the moment we're trying to figure out how to bring console games into SimGrid. Terrible. Circuit Superstars. I love this game. I think that it's like, I don't know, there's like this, it feels like that's how cars should handle if you're like looking top down and drifting, right? I'm not allowed to show you my virtual Le Mans practice. So, yeah. The virtual Le Mans stuff is for, it's private use only, because, yeah. Let's try, I mean, like how do you, like, why can't, oh, look at that. Why can't you see a layout of the track? So at least I get a feeling. Circuit Superstars, you can improve. You can improve. You can definitely, somewhere here, show us the layout of the racetrack so we know what the F is going on. Because, like, no, I'm not going to stream in case we have, like, some buffering issues or something like that. Because I now have to learn the layout in quali, and then it's just a disaster. Okay, so which way does this thing go? Off we go. Woo! Oh shit. Left? Okay, now get the run. Come on, not P8. P6? P6. It's like racing RC cars. Yeah, but... yeah, it's like the physics of RC cars. Okay, newsflash. We're only a second off the pace in P6. We're no longer P8. For those of you just tuned in, I would recommend, like, rewinding a lot. to the actual onboard story stuff. Full send, baby. Instead, I'm getting sent. What is this? Oh, shit. Push, 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 push. Almost got that corner right. Honestly, this game is so epic. Oh, I almost hit the wall there. Oh my god. Look how like they bounce off the curbs. Yeah, they only ghost in quali. P6, Super GT's favorite position. In real life, my favorite position is second. Fucking hell, way too many second places in my life. Paul, it's called Circuit Superstars. Circuit Superstars. Circuit Superstars. Someone please write it in there. If there's an admin here, write it in. Okay, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, almost 2 hours on the dot, 1 hour 59 of streaming. Bang on for someone who's not really playing anything today. So let's jump to Facecam, and then we're going to wave goodbye to this evening. Thank you to everyone who came to watch this one. It was pretty cool to commentate on race coverage. And yeah, I hope you found that valuable. I really like that I can move the camera now. And you can see my vacuum cleaner there in the background. Ow. All right. Yeah, so for those of you just tuned in, circle all the way back, get the lowdown on helmet design, and then the onboard story stuff, and some comments on the WEC. All right, that's it for this week, and I really, really appreciate you watching, and until the next one, catch you on the next lap.